I, Sunita Kharchane from SV Union School and Junior College, welcome you to Political Science, Chapter 2, India's Foreign Policy, Part 3. India's Foreign Policy. Student, in the second part of the video, we have learned about India's foreign policy early phase. In this third part of the video, we are going to learn about the first stage and the second stage of the India's foreign policy. So let's begin with first stage of Indian foreign policy, 1947 to 1990. According to this policy, India adopted the policy of non-alignment in context of the Cold War. Now, what is a non-alignment? We have already done in the first chapter and also in the second part of the video. As a result, priority was given to maintaining the friendly relations with all the nations and to taking the help required for development from different countries. Due to the policy of non-alignment, India could get aid from both the superpowers. So India did not take part in the alignment system or due to the policy of non-alignment. We did not participate with any of the bloc, neither by United States or nor by the Soviet Union. And so India was able to get the aid, that is the help from Russia, that is Soviet Union that time, and United States. There was a lot of stress on strengthening India's defense. The technology required for this was imported. Soviet Union, France and Germany helped India in this matter. So there was a lot of stress and tension was there on how to improve the India's defense system, and technology was required for it, and the technology that time was being imported. So we got the help from the nations like Soviet Union, France and Germany. They helped us in the matter of technology. In this period, India had to face many challenges. This included the conflict with Pakistan, the creation of Bangladesh, and conflict with China. India proved her nuclear capability by conducting nuclear tests in 1974. 1974 first nuclear test was conducted in Pokhara. That time the Prime Minister of our nation was Indira Gandhi. Now let us see about the second stage of foreign policy, India's foreign policy from 1991 till date. India's foreign policy became more comprehensive. Comprehensive means many different aspects were included into our foreign policy and dynamic in the second stage. In the post-Cold War, the priority no longer remained to the political and military relations. Several other dimensions like economy, trade, education and technology got included in the foreign policy. So as it is said, it is comprehensive. So many aspects were included into the foreign policy of India. So various dimensions were included into it like economy, trade, education and technology. This all got included into the foreign policy. After 1991, India reduced the government control over the economy and adopted the free market policy. Naturally, there was an increase in trade with the neighboring countries. So because we adopted the free market policy, we were able to increase our trade relations with the neighboring countries. Our share in the world trade increased. Efforts began to be made to increase the rate of the economic growth. So our products, our talents, these also started getting exported, and so our share in the world trade increased. Efforts began to be made to increase the rate of the economic growth. In decades after 1990, our relations with South Asian countries like Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, etc. became stronger. Our trade exchange with Israel, Japan, China and European Union, it includes 27 nations, increased. India began to participate in the organization at the international and regional levels more than before. For example, G20 and BRICS. G20, this is a group of 20 nations. So this was an international organization in which India was also a part of it. That is G20, that is a group of 20 nations. And BRICS. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So this is the official logo of BRICS of 2016. It is a logo when in 2016, that is on 15th and 16th October 2016, BRICS summit was held, that is the 8th annual summit was held in India at Goa. So these are the BRICS representatives, the 5 representative of the BRICS. Previously, it was only Brazil, Russia, India and China. These were only the nations which were there in the BRIC. So it was only BRIC, but later on South Africa also became one of the nation in BRICS, and so it is called to be a BRICS. Our relations with America strengthened. Mutual trust grew. India's status rose in international community. India's nuclear policy is an important part of India's foreign policy. You must have studied the meaning of nuclear energy and its uses in subjects like history, geography or chemistry. Having understood the importance of nuclear power, India undertook the nuclear energy program immediately after independence. For this, we established the Department of Atomic Energy and the Indian Atomic Commission. The first chairman of the Indian Atomic Energy Commission was Dr. Homi Bhabha. Even though electricity generation was the main purpose behind the program, it also aimed at creating military capability. As a consequence of this, India conducted her first nuclear test in 1974. India also built nuclear weapons and conducted nuclear tests in 1998. So 1994, when Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi, that time it was held at Pokhara. Also in 1998, when Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, during his time it was been held again at Pokhara. So both the tests, 1974 and 1998, the nuclear tests were conducted at Pokhara. We have also made missiles carrying nuclear weapons, and the Air Force and Navy has been enabled for carrying them. Do you know? Nuclear weapons are extremely destructive. Hence, it is necessary to make consistent efforts so that they are never used. 2 treaties have been made to stop the spread of nuclear weapons. The first one is Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty NNPT, and the second one is Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, that is CTBT. The conditions of both these treaties, that is NNPT and CTBT, are of benefit to big nuclear powers, and they put unfair restrictions on the developing countries. Hence, India has not signed either of the treaties. India has not signed both the treaties, neither NNPT nor CTBT, and the reason for it was that these treaties were beneficial only to the big nuclear powers, and they had put some unjust and unfair restrictions on the developing countries. India is a developing country, so we did not sign either of the treaty. India is now a country which has nuclear weapons. We have accepted the role of responsible nuclear powers. India has been consistently supporting efforts for disarmament. Disarmament means reduction or withdrawal of military forces and weapons. That is called as a disarmament, because it is India's position that there should be peace and security in the world. So, according to this disarmament, India is trying to withdraw, or they are trying to reduce the military forces and the weapons. And it is India's position that there should be peace and security in the world. So in this part, the third part of the video, students, we have learned about the India's foreign policy into 2 phases. That is from 1947 to 1990, and second phase or second stage, that is from 1991 till date. So this is the end of our third part of our video of Political Science Chapter 2, India's Foreign Policy. In this third part, we are going to learn about the India's defense system. Thank you, student.